He's pitched 8 full innings of scoreless, hitless baseball. Nancy Seaver holds back her emotions as a huge crowd watches every pitch. The first Cub up in the 9th. Randy Hutley tries a spoiling bunt, but Seaver throws him out. 2 outs to go to a perfect game. Jim Qualls, a rookie outfielder, is up. A clean hit to left center field, and there goes the perfect game. But there's a standing ovation for Seaver by 59,000 fans.
That clip was of Tom Seaver's near-perfect game, which was broken up by Jim Qualls. What you just saw may not mean anything to you, but if you're a die-hard Mets fan familiar with the history, this was just as hard to watch as Lucas Duda's throw to home. Well, maybe not that bad. Let me remind you, Jim Qualls, the guy who broke up the perfect game, was a career 132 hitter. At the time, Mets fans did not realize what would begin shortly after. $8,019. The Mets won 8,019 games with 0 no-hitters, the 3rd longest streak by a team ever. If you're wondering, the longest drought was 8,944 games held by the Phillies, and the 2nd longest is held by the Padres at 8,196 games and counting as of the making of this video. What stings even more is that 7 former Mets pitchers have gone on to throw a no-hitter on another team. Those include Philip Humber, Hideo Nomo, Mike Scott, David Cohn, Doc Gooden, Nolan Ryan, who threw 7, and even Tom Seaver, who threw one the year after he was traded from the Mets to the Reds. Many people believe that the Mets were cursed after they traded Tom Seaver. The Mets went 8,019 games without a no-hitter, yet they had 39 one-hitters, with the most famous being Tom Seaver's near-perfect game and R.A. Dickey's back-to-back one-hitters against the Rays and the Orioles on June 13th, 2012 and June 18th, 2012. Remember that date. The Mets came oh so close to a no-hitter until June 1st, 2012. Game 8020. It was a cool June day at 68 degrees in Flushing, New York. 27,069 fans attended Citi Field to see the 29 and 23 New York Mets. The Mets sported a forgettable lineup with the likes of the beloved David Wright, Kirk Neuenhuis, the guy who hit 4 home runs in a game, and Mike Baxter and his replacement Andres Torres. You'll see why that's important later. Johan Santana cruised through the first couple innings with some help from David Wright's glove at third base and the Mets bats. He was cruising until Yadier Molina did this with 1 away in the 7th.
3-1 coming to Molina, and a fly ball deep left field. Back goes Baxter onto the track. He makes the catch! What a play! And Baxter may be hurt.
That catch separated Mike Baxter's collarbone, and it fractured cartilage from his rib. Mike Baxter would be out for 6 weeks. His replacement? Andres Torres. When Mets fans think of Johan Santana's no-hitter, they think of Mike Baxter's catch and Carlos Beltran. We'll get back to that later. Santana would go into the 8th, where Tyler Green would hit a routine pop-up, where Omar Quintanilla would, whoa! That should not have been that difficult. After that, Santana would be the first Mets pitcher to bring a no-hitter into the 9th since Tom Seaver. Would he be able to finish it this time? I'll let the great Gary Cohen and Keith Hernandez take it from here.
He struck him out! It has happened! In their 51st season, Johan Santana has thrown the first no-hitter in New York Mets history.
That was it. Johan Santana finally did it. Wait, what was that? Remember when I said when Mets fans think of Johan Santana's no-hitter, they think of Mike Baxter's catch and Carlos Beltran? Well, this is why. That ball got chalk. There is no doubt about it. Many Mets fans don't believe the Mets have a no-hitter, including me. This was a major play that would go on to introduce instant replay in 2014. Well, it counted and Santana would finish the no-hitter. Those with a good memory or a keen eye may have seen that Johan Santana threw 134 pitches. No manager would let a pitcher go 134 pitches nowadays. Not even manager at the time, Terry Collins. He would later state, quote, "That was without a doubt the worst night I've ever spent in baseball." Santana would visit the DL multiple times before being shut down in mid-August. In his final 10 starts of the 2012 season, Santana would have an 8.27 ERA. Santana would suffer multiple shoulder surgeries and never pitch in the majors again. Many fans wonder, was it worth it? Four years later, on August 9th, 2016, Steven Matz pitched a career-high 120 pitches. 5 days after that, he would carry a no-hitter into the 8th inning. After the game, Terry Collins said, quote, "If he walked a couple of guys and got up there pretty high, I wasn't going to visit the Johan Santana scenario again. I can tell you that." The Mets had 3 starts in June of 2012 with a total of 2 hits. Many fans still don't think the Mets have a no-hitter, yet they seem primed to in the upcoming years with pitchers like Jacob deGrom, Noah Syndergaard, Carlos Carrasco, and Marcus Stroman, and prospects like David Peterson. Yet with the new mentality of managers, we may be seeing a sharp decline in no-hitters. When will the Mets finally grab that elusive true no-no? We'll have to wait and see. If you're wondering, if you don't include the Johan Santana no-hitter, the Mets have gone 9,316 games without a no-hitter, which is by far the longest in MLB history.